during the legislative session of 2023, I came across a film by UNLV film students called The Sinking Streets. And that film documented basically the plight of a historic Black neighborhood in North Las Vegas called Windsor Park. And Windsor Park was built in the 1960s before segregation ended in Nevada. And it was basically built on geological faults and an aquifer. And in the 1980s, when North Las Vegas started pumping water out of that aquifer, all of their homes started sinking and cracking and breaking. So this film beautifully documented in a short narrative way, in about 13 minutes, how devastated these families were and how they were getting ignored and neglected. So I was already contracted with an environmental justice organization. They wanted me to focus on national legislation, but I just kind of have a way of kind of finding in the moment locally what needs attention and what needs help. And so I found that issue and I was like, yeah, what can I do? And I realized that awareness needed to be spread. I met with Senator Dina Neal, and she was working on the Windsor Park environmental justice bill. And it just happened to be divine timing. I met her at the right time. She's like, I have this bill. People need to be aware of it. The community needs to provide testimony, all these things. And I was like, okay, I have some skill with this. I can put on a couple events. I can introduce myself to the community. I can spread awareness wherever I talk about the environment. I can talk about this. So I pretty much did that during the entire legislative session. I started off by just going door to door in the Windsor Park neighborhood, introducing myself, talking to people, asking what's going on. And the people there were super welcoming and yes, come inside my house and look at the cracks in my floor, look at how it's sinking, all this stuff. And they trusted me, and I let them know, okay, this is the next point that we need you to provide testimony. This is where we need you to be. This is where and how to provide testimony. And they really showed up, and other people in the community showed up that aren't living in Windsor Park, and they provided testimony. So we got that bill passed by the end of the legislative session in 2023. And now 93 families are getting brand new houses. 93 families are getting restitution payments. So yeah,